What's up, Vikings Nation? Now we're going back to the Trey Lance well because obviously the trade talks have picked up. The 49ers are receiving calls left and right inquiring about the possibility of getting Trey Lance. The Minnesota Vikings are actually one of those teams that are inquiring or making calls for Trey Lance to see what might be possible if we can potentially bring in the Minnesota native to the Minnesota Vikings. It's very possible this could happen, but Trey Lance is generating more trade buzz ahead of next Thursday's first round of the NFL Draft. Though it remains a mystery if the Minnesota Vikings are one of the teams reportedly reaching out, which there's been reports that we are one of those teams. We talked about it when the Vikings talked to the 49ers front office at the scouting combine. Now, according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, San Francisco has received inquiries from several teams looking into a potential trade for Trey Lance, who was a standout quarterback at Marshall High School in southwestern Minnesota before leading North Dakota State to a national championship in college. Now, the 49ers view trading up for Trey Lance as a mistake that they'd like to move on from, says Pro Football Talk's Michael David Smith. The question is what they could get in a trade for a quarterback who has done absolutely nothing, but who is talented and only 22 years old, okay? Now, while it's unclear what teams have called the 49ers about Lance, there was apparently some chatter from people in the NFL during the scouting combine about Kirk Cousins being traded to the 49ers, according to Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk. So what would it take potentially to get Trey Lance in a trade via the draft or something like that? Well, ESPN's Bill Barnwell actually had a mock draft which was filled with a bunch of trades, so let's talk about that. Barnwell's hypothetical proposal for a trade for the Vikings to get Trey Lance would give the Vikings Trey Lance, a third-round pick and a sixth-round pick from the 49ers, and a second-round pick from the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the 49ers would get the 23rd pick from Minnesota or from us and backup quarterback Nick Mullins, while the Eagles would land 2 third-round picks from the Eagles and a 2025 fourth-round pick from Minnesota. So that would mean if we do make this trade, Kirk Cousins would still be the Minnesota Vikings quarterback for at least this season. Then we would walk away from him after the season is over. Trey Lance would be the new guy. So Trey Lance would essentially come in, be our new backup because we would trade away Nick Mullins. How you doing? Keep it moving. Trey Lance would be a Minnesota Viking, and I would be pumped about it. I think he still has a lot of potential left in the tank. Okay, he does have an injury past, or an injury-riddled past the last couple seasons anyways, but he's from Minnesota. We get him. We have the best medical facilities here in the TCO Sports facility there at Vikings training camp and stuff like that. So I think it'd be the perfect place for Trey Lance to kind of come over to. I think it would be phenomenal, okay? Because we need a quarterback. Kirk Cousins can be the franchise guy, but at the same time, if he's going to be that guy, we need to win a playoff game. We need to win in clutch moments, and Kirk Cousins can't win in clutch moments. Just plain and simple. Go look at the history, okay? First round exit against the New York Giants last season because Kirk Cousins wanted to throw 3 yards instead of getting 8 yards and potential first down and potential possibility of keeping us in the game, okay? So if he's going to be the franchise guy, we have got to make sure that he's legitimately clutch. Now, Trey Lance, bring him in. He could be the new guy at the helm. We wouldn't have to worry about drafting anybody or something like that. We could focus on the defense and all that stuff. So Trey Lance could be a Minnesota Viking at some point, maybe during the draft, after the draft. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. It's all speculation at this point. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you want Trey Lance or should we go draft somebody else? Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It would be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and SKOL Vikes.